Team Empire's turn to ban. Radiant team pick.
Chen.
Team Empire's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Dying wakes.
Team Empire's turn to pick.
Invoker.
Radiant team pick. Radiant team ban.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dota Pit Season 4 by G2A, Dota Capitalist.
Blitz's head is so big. It was like, I already moved it like a little bit. I actually moved it a decent amount before I was like, man, I still gotta move it, because Blitz's head is gigantic. What the hell?
It's also because the way he wears it with the glasses, he probably even pushes it back a little bit further, so then it has to reach out.
I'm just gonna say it's his ego. That's what I'm gonna say.
With that increase of head swelling. So, we have a game.
We have a rematch on our hands.
We do. We have Empire versus RoX. The We Play match was very, very, very one-sided. These guys just finished playing a best of one in We Play, where Team Empire crushed them with a Wiz Tiny Mid and a safe lane Invoker.
But this is good. This is good
5 seconds
for Tornado.RoX, because it's like you're playing a best of 3, but you get a mulligan. You're like, all right, we screwed up the first game, guys. It's all good. Let's try that again. And that's good, because I am looking at the draft, and they gave Empire a lot of Empire things. Like, they gave Havos like some sort of like go in hero, right? And I think that's gonna be the way that Havos' playstyle kind of is determined now as an offlaner. He's gonna be like go in, Tusk, Spirit Breaker, you know, any of those kind of like man up initiators. That's gonna be. Bless you, Toby. You hurt yourself?
Yeah, but I got to the mic button in time.
That's good.
Team Empire's
Now Dirk is speaking in, wondering like what the hell happened to Toby. I think Toby may have just like sprained his neck or something. That's what happens, kids. That's what happens.
Radiant
you get over 30. You never know what will do you in. Maybe it's just a sneeze. Knock you out of commission for 6 months.
Oh. I don't know if they came across on your microphone.
I'm sure it did. Dirk heard it.
I haven't had a
I still don't understand why you sneeze so loud.
I don't know either.
10 seconds remaining.
I've always been.
I mean, let's paint this scenario. Toby, if you were being hunted down by a serial killer,
I'm dead.
And you had a sneeze coming, would you not be able to contain it?
No.
All right. Well, I guess we know Toby's weakness when it comes to horror movies.
Dude,
horror comedy movies, because I'm pretty sure there's no way with a straight face they can hear that sneeze while watching a horror movie.
I sneezed so hard one time, like you know, I don't know what the muscles are, but like down your back, there's gonna be like a muscle that just runs straight down like either side of your spine.
Yes, there are.
Both of those muscles seized.
Those are the massaging muscles, Toby.
Are they?
Yes. Do you wanna? If you wanna, you know. If you want to be able to... Never mind, we're not going to go down that line. Let's just say those are the massaging muscles and leave it at that. Anyway,
so suspect.
We have an Undying, Invoker, and Sven picked up by Team Empire. Last time around, they got their hands on the Wisp Tiny. They got... They didn't get Spirit Breaker, but they got Tusk for Havos, which I think is, again, like kind of one of the heroes that's going to define his playstyle from the offlane. And look at that, Tornado.RoX ban exactly those two heroes in the second phase. They're probably thinking like Kavos is perhaps a bit limited when it comes to offliners.
I think Kavos is just like he's been limited to just like the type of heroes. Like you're saying, like he wants to charge and initiate heroes. That's every single time. That's what he's looking for. Yeah. And you can only ban him out so far. Like in this case, I almost feel like they may just throw him onto this Ven. I know that Ven's been playing that safe lane role most of the time, but Aloha has been leaning more towards heroes like Stiff, for example, because that hero is just so balanced. He's imbalanced. He's
pretty strong.
He's just strong.
Blitz nominated as one of the two defining heroes of this patch.
Yes.
That and Invoker. Say a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, Invoker. Maybe you don't see it at your level, Toby, but Invoker spammers are everywhere.
Hey, well, yeah, I know there's Invoker. Yeah, they're everywhere.
I don't know. You seemed confused by it.
I'm not going to deny that.
Okay.
But at the same time, like I remember we had this conversation 3 days ago where we talked about the nerf to Invoker and how his initial laning phase wouldn't be that great because of the interaction with Cold Snap, and we talked about this. And I brought it up as a reference with the cast yesterday with Blitz, and Blitz just fucking just laughs his ass off. And it's just like, you know nothing, Cap knows nothing. And I'm like, thanks, Blitz.
I mean, there was
so
just
supportive.
like... Yeah, Invoker's still a hero. That's for sure. Invoker is still obnoxious.
I'm not gonna deny.
And there's not many mids left that can play up against an Invoker.
TA isn't even one of those heroes.
TA can do marginally okay.
I'm a little concerned about what TA is gonna be able to do underneath an Undying Tombstone as well. Like the idea of RoX where they have like the TA to get the quick snipe once Batrider gets lasso target dragged back, or you swap into stun, then TA can nuke him down. Like that I like. The synergy, though, for the push, I'm not feeling it yet. Like, Team Empire banned the Luna because they're realizing, you got a Chen, you got a VS, what is this all about? Like, is the Chen just meant to make space for the cause on the safe lane, or is this meant to be a push hero? Which kind of is Chen's bread and butter. Like, we had a Chen and an Aegis Prophet game, like, on the same team yesterday, and it was, like, that delayed the game so much just because of their pushing power. Both early objectives as well as split push objectives. Right now, I'm not feeling the perfect synergy with Templar Assassin. Like, if it was something like a puck, I could understand like the team fight control, and then your core can go to work. But it's kind of feeling like they're lacking the damage required.
Slardar.
A Slardar pickup for RoX or for Empire?
For Empire. I don't know. There's not many dual lane heroes left. Oh, Enchantress! Oh no! Oh no! Tornado.RoX, you just got Enchantress! Oh no! They lost, Toby!
Yeah, they actually did.
They lost! They didn't get Brood Mothered. Tornado.RoX banned that one away, but they got Enchantress instead.
Team Empire actually ran this.
Oh god.
They ran a... Was it them that ran the dual lane? No, this was actually run by Finstack, but they're now Stark.
Stark, yes.
They ran this Jakiro Enchantress dual offlane. Jakiro was core, Enchantress is support. They were both level 5 by 4 minutes in. It was unbelievable how well that went.
Oh no, they just had to pick Gyrocopter into Oracle. The nightmare, Toby. Wake me up from the nightmare. This is a drafting error.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Alright, so Oracle's a direct counter to Gyrocopter because he brings all this magic damage. But at the same time, they had no magic damage to deal with Enchantress, so they had to pick Gyrocopter. But then they're countered by the Oracle.
You mean physical?
They needed magic damage to deal with Enchantress.
Oh yeah.
But Oracle's encounter to the magic damage that Gyrocopter puts out. Like, it's very clear. Oracle's like so good versus it because he's so like mostly single target focused when it comes to Rocket Barrage. You mitigate like all that damage with Fate's Edict. Gyrocopter does like he does very little physical damage in the first 20 minutes of the game comparatively, right? If you look at like, if you wanted to break down a team fight and go, what percentage of this is magic damage, what percentage of this is pure damage, and what percentage of it is physical damage, it would be like 25% physical and 75% magic. at the 20-minute marker, right? And it's only later on to the game, like past 45 minutes, that it starts ticking, like, into the physical damage territory, where he's actually doing like, okay, 60% physical, 75% physical.
There is one upside, which is still the laning phase, where it looks like RoX should at least have a good lane for a Batrider. Like, Batrider can still deal with the Enchantress, because all it is sticky napalm and Firefly / Flame Break. Don't actually have to attack her properly.
No, he's versus Oracle Sven, isn't he?
That's what I'm wondering, because Oracle Sven,
that's dangerous.
Because what are you gonna do? You're gonna push Enchantress to the safe lane, then run Oracle's Sven off lane?
No.
The Oracle's Sven safe lane, Undying Enchantress off lane.
Wait, do you think RoX is aggro tri-laning? Because here's how I see the typical lanes, alright? I'll break it down for you, Toby.
Okay, break it down.
Defensive tri-lane for Tornado.RoX with jungling Chen that's going to be roaming into the mid lane, trying to help the Templar Assassin beat an Invoker.
Yes.
Okay, then an offlane Batrider.
Yes.
And then it's Sven and Oracle, safe lane farming, and then you have mid Invoker and then Enchantress Undying as a dual offlane. Now, the reason you have Enchantress Undying is it's the normal Enchantress offlane, except for what people have been doing to adjust. See, when it first came out, it was just like Enchantress offlane, and people were like, whoa, this is really strong, but hey, as long as I pick up a nuker, we can deal with it. But then, as that kind of got countered, it's no longer Enchantress solo offlane, it then became Enchantress Abaddon, right? Or Enchantress Spirit Breaker, or something that was like a frontline hero that would be able to push back the opposing support and allow Enchantress to be able to get those first couple of levels. Once you got to level 3, you were kind of good, I would say. Like, Enchantress is happy at that point in time. So Abaddon was kind of like the preferred, just because he could heal the Enchantress and make her like so much tankier than she actually is, and he's actually like a pretty good frontline hero that can't be punished because he has that ultimate later on to the game. Because I actually don't know if Abaddon was banned out at all, but they had the Undying rather early on in the picks. The Undying is going to serve.
He wasn't banned.
Yeah, the Undying is going to serve as that sort of Abaddon hero. You knew it was going to be some sort of aggro dual lane. It was just the question of what was going to go with the Undying. Well, the answer is Enchantress was still in the pool.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure they lost. I mean, if you look at the lanes, Gyrocopter is a good way to make up for the lack of magic damage that they had. Right? The Chen's pure damage nukes are actually probably going to be one of the most important things about dealing with Enchantress early on. If he can get the big pure damage nukes, that might actually offset things. But Vengeful Spirit is more right-click oriented than anything else, and it looks like he's dead.
Yep. Got a little bit too far. Seadoy couldn't even come and help, and he actually consumes one of the Fairy Fires before he dies as well, so that's even more money down the drain. Team Empire will now be able to take bottom room, but top room will at least still belong to BZZ.
The battle begins.
On that TA. Also, for some interesting reason, my heroes now have no faces.
Undying is just the moon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go Undying.
Chen is a blur of light. You can see him. I can see him. It's the dust and the light behind him.
It's like
in this case, they kind of got the camera wrong. It's now in front of him.
Yeah, it's when they do those anonymous interviews, where they just like a black outline. That's what it makes me think of.
So, why did you draft this hero? We go behind the scenes to find out.
Okay, so Oracle's already blocking out the camp and getting vision behind. This is a tough lane for Batrider. Like, Batrider can deal with he can actually do pretty well against a lot of different dual lanes, just because he's so good at zoning out the support. But this is Oracle we're talking about. Heavy amount of nukes as soon as he gets to level 3, combined with a hero that provides nukes of his own in Sven. This is not going to be a simple win. I still think Ghostic should actually win this matchup. He should still be able to get a good amount from the offlane, especially with the start he's having, but it's going to be difficult.
Speaking of difficult, okay, so Yol is finally going to have some impact on this bottom lane. Interesting to see how well Havors is able to micro this, and if he's actually going to give... This kind of trade-off is always just absolutely hilarious. I take it, then you take it back. The downside, however, is for the Chen is, once he takes the creep back, it still has the timer from the Enchantress. But yeah, we've never really seen Havors play a micro-style hero. Normally when Empire run this kind of draft, it will be Havors on something like a support Spirit Breaker or Sven or something like that, and it's Sponiku supporting him as the Enchantress.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that, huh? Got Enchantress as the Chen.
Yeah,
that's great. You're just limiting the strength of Chen when he goes for these 5-man pushes. You're just like, oh, take one of your creeps.
Yeah.
It now serves as a meat shield before my tower gets hit.
Counter initiation too, when like you're looking to get the perfect synergy, like your timing, Troll Trap into Centaur style and into Martyr clapping, and Havors then takes away one of those parts. Like, well, okay, control goes out the window. Can't really get a kill up against the Undying because he's just going to soul rip up the target you initiate it on, or you lose your army, and then you probably get decayed anyway. This is the time now too where I worry about BZZ. He's 9 for 5 up against 10 for 3. Resolution's been neck and neck with him CS-wise, and that's up against like refraction buff. BTZ hasn't got his bottle yet, and he can't keep his refraction charges up while these Forged Spirits are on the field. Because they just keep taking him off.
Yeah, if he does not get a last hit here, like real soon, he's going to be in serious trouble. The more seconds go by that he doesn't have bottle.
Okay, he needs another Rocket Barrage. Cedo is too far away, and Havors, they pushed him into the tree line. He could buy up a TP scroll and get out of here. He's going to salve up instead, and the Sunstrike. Perfect position. No Fear actually waits for the Soul Rip kill. And the Gyrocopter will go down the bottom lane. Team Empire looking very much in control of this
Resolution should know about this gank as well. Like, if that long of a chase and nothing happened, how does Resolution get caught? Oh, he misplayed that so badly. Like, that was a really long fight at bottom lane. And it was a whole entire chase and dance and sing-along. Like, Invoker was even involved in that fight. He should know, like, there's no supports helping out that Gyrocopter. Why would that be? And he still gets caught by the troll.
Did you see the Team Empire game yesterday?
No.
You really should go back and have a look at Resolution's play. There's just some times when Resolution seems to just lose focus. At other times, he's absolutely amazing, and you understand how he can actually understand what's going on the map at that level. Like yesterday, he had a Death Prophet, he lost his dual off lane, they both died, and then he still ran him with a haste rune underneath a Chenuita Troll. And fed himself as a Death Prophet. And he just ran in. His ultimate at the same time and just died. Like a second after the oldie was popped, it's like, okay, you never understand which resolution you're going to get, and that's all throughout the game as well.
You know, for someone who at one point in time was like one of the newer stars of the Dota 2 scene, and he was like people looked at him and they were like, oh my god, he's gonna be a new Dendy, right? He's coming out of the CIS region. You know, this guy has insane mid capabilities.
It was also
he is not that person anymore. I'll be honest. Like, as a Resolution fan, he has failed to reach the peak that people expected of him, and I would say that he's actually. Maybe his individual skill hasn't actually dropped at all, but comparatively, everyone's skill is getting better as years of Dota go by, and I don't think he's progressed the same way that other people have.
He seems to have a rough time as well staying in a team that's stable. That's probably the best way. Like, because we know it. Like, every CIS team has been destroyed by Na'Vi at some point. Not in victory, just in roster changes. Enchantress is going to go down. Looks like Resolution again, taking a lot of damage. No fear we'll be able to survive through this, however. But yeah, Resolution, like, you think every time he's gone to TI, okay, he's going to get this
the refraction!
Kill. It's back up again.
The worst. That's the worst feeling right there. It's like, oh, we got refraction on the last hit. Great.
He did pretty much everything right up to that point. Yeah, you think about Resolution's history. That trap with a double damage room, BZZ, he's just going to commit. Resolution's dead. You're so close to getting killed and you get snapped on.
That's unfortunate.
I feel really sad for it too. Like, I know we said on previous casts, like Resolution is such a nice guy, and he was known for a big leadership in IC Cup when he played for them. Because it was him that was one of the first teams that ever really shook up what was back then the invincible Na'Vi.
Oh, they're gonna kill Ghost Duke, I think. They have another nuke coming out for the Oracle. That's enough.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah,
is
I
under
was just
attack.
about to point out the Bat Rider's levels. He only just now hit level 4. If the biggest thing to compare, I think, success of an offlane is looking at the supports you're dealing with, and the carry. And he is under-leveled in
Resolution's dead. Chen Stentor's coming in. Whoa!
Uh-oh.
They turned onto the trap for some interesting reason. Resolution's now going to get soul ripped up, and he'll end up surviving through this.
Oh
and
no,
in fact,
RZ's here.
Sonic is coming in. He doesn't have the vision to get the initial kill as Yol, he's not going to heal fast enough from Punic's nuke, and Punic, he's looking for it again. His DZ doesn't have refraction up. I believe they changed it now so Punic can actually see if refraction's on. Didn't they change that vision?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, BZZ actually started baiting it out a little bit. He started running back to the Oracle, knowing that his refraction had just come off cooldown. But, yeah, the Bat Rider's underleveled. They're doing a good job of putting pressure on Resolution.
Lost. Good barrage and cooldown. He goes down to the Gyrocopter. A little bit of help from the VS.
Yeah, Gyrocopter's rough. I had to play this matchup in our JDL match recently. Gyrocopter versus Enchantress. And it's rough if they have proper nukes and disables, and actually Magic Missile is just enough for Gyrocopter to get these kills.
I thought there was going to be a lot more support staying with him, however, but No Fear had to rotate at some point. Punic has been slowed up a little bit. There's another trap in 2 seconds time. They get one sticky napalm as Yol brings in the creeps that actually blocked up the ramp. They couldn't keep the easy chase going, but No Fear walked over into them. Now, he doesn't have Tombstone available until right now, and he's going to commit it straight away. No Fear needs to soul rip, but the double Centaur stuns perfect from Yol, but Punic is killing him on the backlines, and now Resolution, they'll pick up the Bat Rider as well. A double kill arriving for the Oracle. And he's now 4-0-0 on that Oracle.
Oracle, one of the few heroes that, I mean, you very easily get hero kills, and you can quite efficiently secure yourself CS as well. Oracle's always going to get a good amount of farm. And Aloha Dance, like, he's doing great. He's already got a Helmet Dominator. He's going to start stacking up the Ancient stacks. We've seen this time and time before. Go Iron Talon, you go Helmet Dominator, S and Y, clear through the stacks. Blitz and I were comparing it to like the Animage or previous patches. Animage is not really a hero for this patch anymore. He's just no good. But if you do want a hero that requires a certain amount of AFK farm, Sven is probably the hero. Comes online about 10 minutes faster than AM does. Oh, fortunate. They really needed that smoking to work.
Does he actually come online that much earlier? Especially when you go for this. I suppose the animation does go for a farm-oriented build as well.
Even when you get Battle Fury Manta, it's not like that's high ground push potential. Maybe you can join some fights and you can very easily get pickoffs, but that doesn't mean you're like, all right, I'm at my peak of strength, I'm ready to go high ground. Sven easily goes high ground by 30 minutes. Animage requires more like 45 minutes.
BZZ. At Meld. He's just far enough away out of range of that Dire Sentry ward to be able to do such a thing as Havos dies again.
Yeah, he's having a hard time.
He left his Ursa as well behind and even try and make a run out of there.
He did get a lot of farm out of that offlane. You got to give him that much. He's 3rd in CS right now. He's actually above the Templar Assassin. 4th in net worth though, because of his stats.
Yeah. The top net worth is still his Sven. Like his CS is through the roof, but Gyrocopter, because of all the kills he's been able to pick up on this safe lane, like he's 3 kills for 1 death. Gyrocopter is almost the same net worth as his Sven.
I know this feeling. He just snowballs a little bit too much. Like, he gave probably 1 kill he shouldn't have. Next thing you know, Vengeful Spirit has level 6. He swaps Zavos into a bad position, and it results in another kill. It just becomes... It goes from 1 mistake you made early game, and it snowballs against you really hard from the offlane position. And this is probably just the... you know, Havos being kind of new to the offlane that's kind of having that effect. Because he expected to have No Fear there almost constantly, but so much roaming from Tornado.RoX forced No Fear to rotate out of lane.
So yeah, as you said, like, it's not what he's used to. Like, he plays off lane, not a safe lane anymore. Safe lane, you normally always have like 1 supporter hovering behind you, or at least keeping in their minds they're gonna have a TP to help you out. But in the off lane, you're kind of left alone.
Yeah, and if you the time he, you know, he's obviously been playing off lane lately, but most of the time we've talked about it, he's playing a big tanky hero. you know, Spear Breaker, Tusk, some sort of hero, not completely opposite of what Enchantress is, which is super squishy to just getting nuked down.
That untouchable level gets up, and even then that only helps protect you from the physical damage. It's like Empire setting themselves in for a little bit more of a mid-game timing, Hand of Midas build for the Invoker. Not a real surprise with a Hand of Midas build, but I'm interested to see if RoX Kits are able to punish him, because he doesn't have any maneuverability items right now. And you're already seeing RoX grouping up around the mid. How's BZZ looking for money? He's got 1,500 gold. Like, if he goes directly into a Desolator in this game, RoX could just force through buildings very early on. I'm not sure that's really the play, though.
Look, we have a Vengeful Spirit now on Empire's team. Got themselves an illusion. I still feel like the Enchantress was definitely the right pickup and is still going to cause a lot of havoc towards Tornado.RoX's team. Because certain heroes like Batrider, for example, really bad versus Enchantress, because Enchantress is sitting farther in the back, so you can't pick her up. And when you grab somebody else and run away, well, you're only increasing the damage you're going to take from those Impeta shots. And certain heroes like Gyrocopter, the reason that Enchantress is countered by Gyrocopter early is because all this magic damage, but in a way, Enchantress does threaten the Gyrocopter later on because he's overly dependent on BKB. I have no idea. Sort of crazy lag.
I have a pause and Cap's lagged out. So, yeah, it looks like Resolution's also having troubles. Not again. Not again. Last night it was Twitch that basically kicked the bucket. Dota 2 also went down for a period of time because they ended up patching it 2 different times.
But you know how I always talk about, like, Luna and Gyrocopter, like, they're overly dependent on BKB. I use the same line every single time we talk about those heroes, but it's true. It's because they're with the more stats-focused build that we've seen on Gyrocopter, that does amp up a bit of that weakness, and it makes them come online faster and etc. But it is still a weakness that Gyrocopter holds. So damage such as pure damage from Impeta shot that now goes through BKB isn't really gonna protect you if Enchantress is not the one being targeted, though.
And later on, she's not going to be the one being targeted, because Sven's going to take all the attention.
Yeah, Sven's going to be up in your face.
Yep. And Sven's going to be up in your face for a long time, because Oracle's going to make it very difficult for you to do anything else. He's like, okay, I'm going to initiate in. Oh, we can kill him. Oh, wait for it. And then you got Soul Rip, then you get Tombstone. That's where I'm wondering if RoX gets kited out the second they jump in. You try and go for this call down, which is probably going to be the best zoning ability they've got. But everyone in that could be saved. And you've still got that Enchantress, which, of course, if he does get the Dragonlance and then gets the Aghanim Scepter as well, he's going to be outside of range of that cooldown, more than likely. So initiating on him is going to have, like, pressure on the Batrider to get a really good jump without a rebuttal from Team Empire. That's going to be difficult, but he is working his way. Like, it's just over 2k gold right now, so that Blink Dagger timing's not too far out.
The initial thing is like Batrider and Swap from Vengeful Spirit that threatens the Enchantress in some of these early fights. That's going to be the first thing. But later on, it's going to be perhaps BKB from Gyro, but just because, you know, maybe he can get on top of her and then he doesn't care about Untouchable. The mid to late game threat, though, is going to be Templar Assassin. And that's going to be a while coming, because you need Desolator, Blink Dagger, and BKB on the TA before you can threaten the Enchantress.
On the bright side, the main thing is, like, this is going to help her reach that Desolator. Like, she's already got the first Mithril Hammer. After farming up this stack, she may be able to afford the second one. And Desolator is so much cheap now when you're looking for this early progression for a Templar Assassin. So I don't know if the timing is really going to be that late for her.
I love this pickup from the Sven, by the way. This is a game that between Templar Assassin and Gyrocopter, the enemy team does have a lot of way to clear through Ancients, and they also have a relatively early aggressive team between Gyro and Chen. You should try and meet that aggression. You should not try and go for the full SNY BKB build. You can't wait that long. I think Helmadom, Blink, and BKB is your build for this game.
Getting ready to come into mid lane, Team Empire. He's going to fresh Ether Lens, and they initiate directly on the BTT. Oh my! He pops so quickly. The cooldown, though, is really good from Seater. No fear, copying all the damage from both Black Cannon and Rocket Barrage. They haven't got rid of the tombstone just yet. Nova saying they're welcome, deafening blast, pushing back the Chen as well. So Gyrocopter was spent again, way too much damage to Lasso. That was the shortest one in history. But they're going to keep the attack going. Havors getting swapped back underneath the tower, but protected by Funnick. Funnick will have to give up his life, but it's actually Tornado.RoX who are getting kill after kill, punishing Team Empire for getting over aggressive underneath the RoX Kiss tower. And Havors, well, Zedoy, he's almost dead, but he's just surviving. Finally, the Undying will come in, getting almost 1,000 gold for the kill.
You see how bad it was for their team to try and kill Enchantress? It was like Gyrocopter ran out of Rocket Barrage, and they're like, well, that's it, guys. Oh, man. That was so bad from Empire, though. They misplayed the hell out of that fight.
But hey, we've been casting Empire non-stop for the last week, and this happens.
Yeah.
This keeps happening. We had a moment last night, and if you don't remember the moment, go look up the VOD. It was right in this box in game 1 of their 2-game series last night, where Team Empire basically made the game even again. In this game, look at the advantage they swing. They go under the tower and they give a 4,000 net worth advantage over, and the swing and experience is roughly the same as well.
Yeah.
It's like they try to force the issue, but they were just so exposed and weren't ready for the initiation of RoX.
Yeah, 3 things went wrong in that fight. The first thing was they jumped on TA, and that was all well and good. But Undying getting separated from the rest of his team and isolated by Gyrocopter. That was so bad, because he took the full Rocket Barrage damage, and even with Soul Rip and a little bit of extra strength, he still just got creamed, right? So he's instantly dead. 1-for-1 exchange. And then they keep going, right? They keep going for a little bit more. That was, I think, a bad idea. They should have just called it a 1-for-1 trade-off and be happy, right? Because they traded a Templar Assassin for Undying. That's fantastic. And then the third mistake was Oracle not using his ultimate on Aloha Dance. I don't know how Funnick screwed that one up, because I clicked on him immediately after the Sven died, and I was like, it's up. He had mana for it. Everything was good. He just didn't get it off on Sven in time. And that was so bad, because if Sven pushes forward, they probably trade Sven's life for at least 1 or 2 more kills, and they're not on the defensive. They're not being chased back.
They took down the Undying Tombstone. It's well up on the hill, as for some reason that Radiant Courier was just sitting there. It looks like a bit of a missed micro. It had Zedoy's Ogre Club on it. The 1,000 net worth loss. But RoX were originally smoking to try and contest Roshan. Now, they have negative 13 armor on Roshan. They've started this up, and Team Empire, okay, they don't have the Undying Tombstone here, correct. But Sven at Soul Strength back off cooldown comes and gets a double Soulfall on the Batrider as well as Zedoy. The cooldown's nice, but Team Empire moved far forward enough that, okay, no, Havors is there with the nuke. Funnick will help bring down the Gyrocopter.
Oh my god, Sven lived!
They basically dodged most of the cooldown. Oh, and now they're going to go for more. They burn through the refraction. You'll try to send him back. And with that death, he's going to almost kill Aloha.
The bird from the tornado! Oh my god, the bird from the tornado?
Get away!
No, Funnick saved him. Oh. He got him from the magic damage, but holy cow.
They got only keep 2 heroes.
What a disaster fight that was for Tornado.RoX. That's what I was talking about, right? Funnick gets the ultimate off on Sven, and Sven just keeps going ham. Like, he just goes in, he forces RoX back, whoever he can get his hands on, he destroys. And that was pre-Chrysalis, I believe. Yeah, that was pre-Chrysalis, because I was thinking, oh, maybe they should have waited for that item. But that was pre-Chrysalis. And he's outputting so much damage, he's getting this lifesteal. He actually out-heals the damage that he took from all of that.
Revenge on bottom. Funnick's gonna go down. Havors just TP'd away.
Middle tower is under attack.
It's just... These fights just seem to be so scrappy. Positioning is always, like, difficult to get. Havors found himself in the middle of the team fight after being on the edge of the team fight, just with the way it all moved down.
This is definitely no Team Secret versus Evil Geniuses Frankfurt Major. That's for sure. This is a lot of mistakes being made on both sides, mispositioning, some just straight up like weird errors, like not getting off an ability when you know it's going to be needed to be used. But I think Empire is still coming out on top. The gold graph and experience graph are probably going to be relatively even after that Roshan fight.
It is.
But the
experience,
I think that their lineup just naturally comes online. Just it's like they were getting crushed by the gyrocopter, you know, the 10-15 minute gyrocopter, And that happens sometimes,
Radiant's
but
bottom
their
tower
peak is
is
really
under
at
attack.
25 minutes, I would say.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So their peak is still coming, so I think that the fact the game is even says good things for Empire, but we'll see. Tornado.RoX still have plenty of opportunities to try and push this high ground. And they're not necessarily a team that's going to run out of steam if we go late game. They really aren't.
Yeah, the TA is still going to have a fair chunk of damage on it. You never underestimate the Batrider initiation. In fights that are so scrappy like this is what the Batrider thrives on.
Yeah.
Like, just one person being slightly out of position. You grab him, and TA, once he gets that Blink Dagger done, BZZ will just blink him, nuke him down, and you're instantly into a 5-on-4.
Radiant's middle tower
Which is all you're
is
really
under
looking to
attack.
achieve with that lasso.
Dire's bottom
Now,
tower
a little bit of a
is
tower
under attack.
trade-off is the damage to the tier 2 on bottom. Sonic's going to try and slow that down with his TP. The RoX will have to use Fortification to stop that push from Aloha. He also spent... he bought a Demon Edge already. He's not playing any cautious. Like, why would you as well? You got Nagus the Immortal just by the full Daedalus.
Yeah. Let's see. BKB next up for the Gyrocopter. I think BZZ still... trying to think if you go BKB or Blink Dagger first, because I think Blink Dagger is still necessary.
You need the pickoffs. Like, there's too much maneuverability on Team Empire that you kind of need to be the ones in a better position. The Invoker picked up a Blink Dagger, got a Aloha dance with his Blink Dagger as well.
Especially with the Ether Lens on the Oracle, he could sit so far back that it's not possible for the Batrider or the Vengeful Spirit to get a swap.
Yep.
So I think it's up to the Templar Assassin who pushes herself forward with a refraction and then blinks really deep in. Because you need to kill that. You need to actually not necessarily kill the Oracle. What you need to do is force out the False Promise on himself. That way you have no saving grace for the Sen, who's still lacking BKB, so you can easily disable and kite him.
Tower trade time. Empire moving just that little bit faster.
Empire, definitely faster. They are so much faster when it comes to pushes. Because they've got, like, Invoker's like a pseudo Chen when it comes to pushing because of how strong Forge Spirits are. And then you've got the going Enchantress. And then you've got God's Strength. Like, if it comes to uphill battle, Sven will pop God's Strength just to prove, like, you ain't doing this.
They're Warcrying.
Oh, and I forgot Alacrity.
God's Strength. They've still got Fortification available, but yeah, Alacrity's up. He's doing over 400 damage a pop, almost reaching the 500 mark. And, well, BZZ has to blink defensively away. The Tombstone's dropped up on the high ground, so no fear. It's a very aggressive position. He's taking so much damage as well. Soul rips up, and then the big stun. A huge stun on the backline. Hand of God will actually reflect a lot of that damage as well as the mech charge, and they lasso Aloha almost back in range of the tier 4 towers. They'll pop the Aegis the Immortal. Sonic couldn't keep him safe for that long. He'll come back up again, and, well, Aloha is just too deep. The scrappy fights where Batrider is able to capitalize. BZZ will look for more. They'll see the TPing out. His Blink Dagger's off cooldown in, well, 4 seconds. And the sticky napalm, they'll slow down No Fear enough that they'll be able to pick up the kill. So yeah, very easy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Two big kills coming the way of RoX. Like, they defend their bottom tower. The top tower still ended up going down as well. Are they chasing?
Oh, they might get it too.
Blocked by his own range creep as well. That stacking range creep blocked him a little bit.
Did you hear me say, oh, this is going to be bad?
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, it was super obvious. It was super obvious. Empire was going to make some, like, they were going to, as soon as they didn't back up, like, the Batrider showed himself, and I was like, okay, but you don't want to be forced back just from the Batrider. So, you know, you push uphill, do some damage to the tier 3. The moment they saw other heroes there from Tornado.RoX and didn't immediately back away, I was like, nope. I was like, this is bad. They're going to lose the fight. They don't have BKBs yet. So, Batrider just destroys them. They're just going to get sticky napalm constantly.
Damn, he's quick. He had no idea they were coming and just blinks away. Or he may have had an idea, but he had no vision to tell him so.
They may have Aegis, but you don't go high ground with first Aegis. Like, you don't force, excuse me, you do not force high ground fight first aid. You can go high ground, you can force the enemy back. That's the ideal play. Because then as you back away, as long as you don't get caught, then you take over their jungle. It's very inefficient farming time for them because they're stuck inside their base. Nice tornado.
It started and grow.
The old Exord build.
For 1 point. He's only got 1 point in Wex.
That's for like, give you Wex, give you Invis, and Sonic Boom. Whatever it's called. In the habit of calling it Sonic Boom now.
You mean Deafening Blast?
Yes, Deafening Blast. They should just call it Sonic Boom. Come on.
It also gave him the alacrity.
Sonic Boom!
You couldn't have alacrity without it.
Yeah, exactly. Alacrity's like, I think when IceFrog first implemented Alacrity, he thought it was going to be about the attack speed. No.
No fear.
It's about the damage.
It triggers the ulti.
Why is no
He's
fear
right
here?
Behind the line. He wanted to come from behind. Now Gyrocopter, the great Stormbolt. Now swap him out. The BKB will come up with Seater and get some space. Is he going to do any damage though? He's looking for the flat cannon damage from range. At this point, they've already lost the Vengeful Spirit. Or straight off onto a Vorst who still found himself in the middle of fights. And Funnick wants to go for more. False Promise is being sent down. Sunstrike looking for a target. Not going to find anything. They're all just escaping out of here. Roxkiss.
I'd have to rewatch that fight. I don't know how Havos got there.
I don't know how.
My only assumption is that Gyrocopter lived on like one Impetus shot. So my only presumption is that he pushed forward to see if he can get that Impetus shot.
Okay, that could make sense.
That is the only reason, but
no, you'll be able to see it in a minute. Because
I'll check that.
I had it on quite visible. But it was like no fear. I can originally understand the plan. He wanted to come in from behind, but at the same time, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna tombstone in this area, allowing RoX to just quickly destroy it?
Hey, show me your Invoker portrait, by the way.
My Invoker
I
portrait
see it on
so
stream. That is badass.
I know. He looks so.
You know, that's Dire Side Invoker right there. That's what that is.
You know, that would actually be the next level of cosmetics, where the Oracle is a galaxy. He's a literal galaxy. Huh. He's like that beverage I found last night, which Blitz then said like tasted like absolute ass. See, like the galaxy in a glass.
Yeah, it's that the black hole one.
Yeah.
Missing little.
It keeps turning on all the time.
Man, I'm still waiting for the fight. Oh, the smoke up into Roche. Tornado-RoX, I think, are better at contesting Roshan than they are doing. Like, obviously they can do it fine. I'm just trying to think. I think it's too dangerous to for them to get caught inside the Roshan pit and have committed fights. They want to have those kind of like back and forth fights where the Templar Assassin and the Bat Rider are at their strongest, right? Where you kind of like hit and run.
Yep. But when you group yourself up in a big area together, and then Sven goes to work, because it's like it's enabling their core. The guy who has cleave and the guy who has an AoE stun. Kind of what you're looking for. So, what happened with Havorst?
Yeah, I don't know.
Radiant's
might have been.
tower is under attack.
Might have been a little bit slow to see it. But I mean, that I gotta say though, that was balls like church bells coming from No Fear. True to his name, man. He just like ran in. I was like, what the hell is he doing? I was like, oh my god, because there was such a good chance that the 5 heroes from Tornado.RoX would just push back into him, and he would be like, whenever you try and make a sandwich play like that, all the enemy has to do is just push in one direction, and you get screwed up. So they just pushed back to the end dying and quickly killed him in the tombstone. Boom. End the fight.
First just looking for initiation. Empire walked into the pit, they're blinked out, but they've been visible the entire time. Both the TA trap inside the pit, plus the observer on the hillside for RoX. And now Haloa is just trying to catch somebody out. All he can find is creep, so he uses war cry. They get rid of the chain group to start with, but the cooldown is looking pretty damn good. Gozik, he's just chasing up the Funnick to isolate him now. Pavort as well as been way too far forward. And, well, Empire just got slaughtered. There was no mercy granted.
Why don't they have Why don't they have BKB on Sven? Why did he go AC after the Daedalus? I thought it was so greedy to complete the Daedalus. Now he goes to AC as well? There's still Gyrocopter.
Maybe they're worried about all the negative armor coming out from RoX.
Maybe, but
be the mindset.
They're still sticky napalm. He's just so dependent on the Oracle ultimate in order to get out any damage because he's just going to be kited around. Man, I can't believe Empire. They're actually probably going to lose this game.
Quite possible.
I am super surprised by this. I'll be honest. That is.
Again, we're gonna make this group stage such a the top 3 positions are so hardly contested. RoX, actually their first game in this because they replaced Alliance, and everyone's like, maybe they're not gonna perform that well. They went 2-0 in their first series, and now if they can get a win on the back of here up against Team Empire, which was one of the top teams we're looking to see at the top, competing number 1. It's making it interesting. No fear now. Tombstone's being dropped. You can see it up on the cliff side, but Aegis, the Immortal, are in the hands of that Gyrocopter. Even an extra regeneration room to be bolted up. They just want to get out of here, RoX, with what they've taken. Or BZZ can say, fuck it. He's just going to try and chase him down. Resolution saved up by Funnick. As BZZ will waste most of his BKB, the cooldown is gone, and BS is very, very far forward. The Flamebreaker will buy a little bit of space, but not enough.
Goddan's gotta find more. He's gonna have a blink up. What's stopping him?
Oh, Cole. Okay, there's Cole for that. Thought he dodged the tornado.
They get an okay fight. They got 2 supports. They still walked away with Aegis. Yeah, Tornado.RoX actually didn't lose anything there.
And Empire still immediately racks down.
And Havos is still doesn't have
yeah, really?
Still doesn't have the Ag. For someone who was 4th in net worth a long time ago, he is now right there in the middle.
I wonder if it's really worthwhile for him to pick up the drums. Because he slowed down his progression on the Ags with the drums, but...
No, I agree with drums. I think that drums is actually pretty essential for Enchantress. Like, the stats are good for you, and then it feels like you need that movement speed. It's the same reason he goes Phase Boots over Treads. Like, I go Treads, drums, but I think Phase Boots is actually the correct choice.
They're chasing so hard here, RoX. They're going to split themselves up. They managed to find Funnick. Aloha Dance is still on the run out of here. Funnick, there's a little bit of a saving grace available, and in fact, yeah, he's going to self-do it. No Fear tries to give him some space, but the Radiant Sentry was down, so the Glimmer Cape doesn't do enough, and now Aloha, he burns through the Aegis, the Immortal. Funnick will be able to survive the Sunstrikes as well as that Deafening Blast, pushing it back and helping to get the kill on the Batride. They're still going to swap back in, however, Resolution. So it's just trade-off after trade-off, but the bigger one is the fact that Seadoy has just brought down Aloha, and he'll lose his life. Havos able to stand his ground. Just full tip for Tat at the moment. Funnick barely able to survive through all of this.
Oh, if only he had mana, he probably would have got that extra kill as well.
Is y'all coming back in?
Oh, that's super dangerous.
They haven't observed what the okay, they have the damage.
If Havos... Oh, that Arcane Boots came in a little bit sooner as well. Because he actually hit him before the Force Staff hit, right? So if the second shot from Havos was an Impetus shot, guaranteed they get that extra kill. But, alright, this is... did Havos actually get... Yeah, I was looking at his gold, I was like, it's the exact same. How did that happen? No, he got 1,000 gold out of that fight, so he will have his Ags coming in.
You mean by looking at the team fight recap? Because I said he got 376 gold.
Yeah, I think just like over the last minute, I mean, he got 1,000 gold.
Game. I feel like I'm watching like different skirmishes across the map. Like there's intent to kill. There's always intent to kill.
I gotta say though, I was creaming on Resolution early on, just because, you know, I'm always gonna be most critical of the players that I'm most disappointed in. You know, if I'm watching some tier 3 player, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, look how bad he played. I'll always be like, oh yeah, he showed promise in these areas, etc. Resolution is a top tier player that I expect a lot.
Oh, no go 6. Yes, the 4-star to get the last 2 off, and that allowed Aloha to get range for Funnick to save him. That's a big blunder. He was right on top of this event as well.
Yeah, there was no way for Funnick to get there without that slight misstep.
That would have been such a huge pickoff. That would have allowed them to take that tier 2 tower in the mid lane and potentially a little bit more. Like, there's no buyback available. He's short by 1,000 gold.
Now they need... Now Havos is like, because he's behind in his items, now he's going to be pressured to try and finish up MKB against Gyrocopter. His evasion is actually quite tough for Havos.
Here they go again. Fall down's going to catch out 3, but Seater in the front lines, swapped out and saved. He still needs to get in range with that flank and go as BTZ. He's just ripping apart Havos, is able to find the pickoff. And the Sven joins him as well. The VS may have a little bit more of a harder time getting out of this, but BZZ still in the middle despite the Sunstrike. Oh, Resolution hit it perfectly, but he's still losing. The rest of his team, Resolution just made a break for the top tier 1 Radiant Tower. But he's the last man left standing for Team Empire.
I understand why he went all the items that he did, but again, because Havos is behind, he doesn't have enough money to get, he desperately needs a Ghost Scepter. You see the way BZZ is playing this. Pop EKB, blink on the Enchantress. He like casually 3-shots the Enchantress. You know, because he does the damage fast enough that the heal doesn't kick into play. It's even faster if he gets criticals. So they lose like their prime pure damage dealer out of Enchantress pretty early on to these fights. The Sven, because he doesn't have BKB and is so dependent on the Oracle ultimate, he's oftentimes easily kited around. Funnick is playing great. Besides that one misstep that he had in middle lane where he didn't ult the Sven, yeah, he's actually playing like really well as the Oracle. He's been like really heads up at always binding the people in the back on Tornado.RoX who have escaped from the initial damage, and he hunts them down, and he gets that long range purifying the flames to finish them off.
When you have moments like that where you commit most of your initial damage and stun controls, and then the VS just swaps out your target, what can Funnick do? Kyle is just dragged away from them, and he still has to stay out of range of that cooldown. The battle's just too far away from him.
Yeah, every time that save comes into play, this Sven, can't pursue or anything. The Invoker's already kind of like blown his invoke load, so it doesn't really matter. Enchantress being focused down by the TA, so like Funnick's the only free one to actually go and pursue that hero. So he's just like running into the middle of a fight. He's just like doesn't care. He's like running past a Templar assassin who's beating up an Enchantress. He's like, doesn't matter. I have the hero in my sights, and he just runs him down with purifying flames. The best part is it's such a long range too.
Mark, RoX is already here though. RoX can't see shite, and now, well, TA as well as Invoker, they're gonna scat each other out.
They don't have Tornado yet.
The Firefly. They see no fear as well. Try and flame break into the tree line to get a little bit of extra like sight, but no one's there. Well, not that they can see at least. The flame break not triggering the smoke. Both teams blow smoke, and both teams will disengage. Groupstage is a long way up here by himself. I can understand him pushing in the top lane. By doing so, without the tier 3 tower, Team Empire will have to return to defend that.
Death tax.
I think a little bit more coordination in Empire. I don't think I've ever seen Sven or Enchantress hit the same target. You know, so Sven can make that kind of initiation, and Havos is hitting that target as well. If he gets swapped out, like, boop, max impetus damage. Uh-oh. Havos in trouble.
Yeah, BZ making the charge forward, but he's pretty far forward away from the rest of his team.
Now that was BKB used on the Templar Assassin. They didn't get anything out of it, so Tornado.RoX very wisely back up.
Empire instantly turned though.
No, they should. They should try and force this fight while BKB is down.
Unfortunately, they turn right on top of a Radiant Observer ward, so RoX just know exactly what's coming at them. And Aloha is just trying to keep up. He went just then for the Stormbolt, but lost vision just around the corner of the tree.
Cane Rune Refraction. What does that mean?
Timing?
Yeah, that's like 4.5 seconds less. Refraction.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, 12.5 second cooldown on Refraction. I think that's enough to probably use it twice in a fight, guaranteed. Not bad.
Might even get it 3 times if your prep time when the refraction's early enough.
Pretty close to like a 4-second meld.
Oh, down. RoX looking for the opening in mid. BKB's already up cooldown for the Templar Assassin just because it's a 5-second BKB. It's quite easy just to keep pushing in. A 6-second BKB over on Seater, so the duration isn't there, but RoX seem to be winning these fights very quickly, and they found a boss. The blink, the lasso, the cooldown to try and isolate them all as they just swap back out, and Seater does get that BKB up, and a boss be put in to help him survive, but it leaves nothing left for Aloha Dance, and the boss getting Rocket Barrage down. Seater is trying to find that last physical damage, and he does have it now with the Rocket Barrage as well. Hunter can protect himself with the Ghost Step. He's got almost 4-star resolution up to save it. No, that Blink Dagger is there.
They've got a buyback on this Sven. I don't know why they're not using it. This is an ample opportunity.
RoX, they came underneath the town, but they've already lost the Undying. VZZ, he's just too close with the 4-star back out. The Sunstrike's going to miss. And the slow on Aloha, there's your Deafening Blast, pushing it back. Aloha needs to attack in. Seater stands his ground. BZZ, he's still just sitting there like a stunned mullet, hiding inside the meld, allowing him to blink up. Resolution's going to find him, however. A quick tornado and a nice wall down. And BZZ now tries to turn and fight. He will not survive it. Team Empire will finally get something back. They still have issues on bottom lane, and they've still got an issue approaching on top.
Empire holds. Tornado.RoX aren't going to be particularly happy with that fight. They gave away a lot of gold because they just pushed in a bit too deep trying to pursue, and understandable. They probably didn't think about the buyback on Sven at that point. But now they're going to get caught. Resolution knows he has to be super aggressive at this point in time, and beautiful play there from Bunny. He actually uses the Fortune's End on Resolution before he blinks in, lets it go, so the moment that Batrider turns to Yules, the Yules gets taken out instantly, and Resolution can keep fighting.
Finally, to Empire get that gem back. That was originally theirs, and they lost it to Batrider. They're losing all vision. That's another reason why they couldn't get a really good initiation into the team fights. So now they're going to have that gem back. They could try and gain map control, and they've got an Aegis and a Cheese behind them to help them achieve the next win in the team fight.
I was going to say, I think Sven takes the Cheese here. The reason being is that I think the hero that is going to be taking the Oracle ultimate wants the Cheese. Because you can use the Cheese in the middle of that, and it'll double the healing effectiveness of it. So you could conceivably take 4,000 damage, or excuse me, 5,000 damage during Fortune's End, and that would be all mitigated by a Cheese use. I don't know if that's actually possible.
But you need a little bit more life, like a life ball, right?
No, the damage just kind of like stacks up, right? So Sven's in the middle of 5 heroes from Tornado.RoX, and they all turn to beat him up. And then he gets Fortune's Ended, and then like Tornado.RoX just keep right-clicking him and throwing abilities at him as much as they can.
Yeah.
They could rack up, you could rack up to 5k, 10k, 15k damage. And then it's just a question of whether or not you received enough heal to offset that. But I think the Aegis is... It's a tough call because the Cheese is also really effective for the Invoker as well.
They're just trying to protect Resolution instead. So we can go for the... He's actually going to go for a straight Refresher Orb after having the Aghanims knocked green. I say a straight Refresher. I was actually waiting for some kind of extra Disable to try and control that Temple or Assassin more. But I suppose in a way, this is your Disable controller. Like an Aghanim's Refresher, you're going to have 2 Deafening Blasts. And everything else which you can just nuke and throw.
Oh, this is a really good smoke rotation if they could get this pick up on Aloha Dance, and they've got him too!
This time, the lasso is going to work.
But he's got the Cheese.
Trying to come in, but then Fortune in, and he'll try and turn and attack. That Cheese is still there. Seater is in very, very deep. Avos looking for some more damage. Now he finally gets the refraction charge. Seater burning down quickly, and Resolution goes to work. He has burnt that Refresher Orb of his, but with a wonderful Tornado, they'll pick up Ghost Six as well. Yol able to force up himself down. They need a little bit more damage. The Soul Rip will provide that. Ghost Six as well, getting Storm Bolted up. He cannot escape from this fight. The 2 big cores of RoX will be capable of surviving this. Team Empire still get 3 quick kills and buy themselves some more space in the map.
Yeah, they had to be able to pull him down the cliff in order to make sure that Fudding couldn't get that false promise off. As soon as the false promise landed, it was all bad for Tornado.RoX. In fact, Fudding even screwed that up a little bit. For whatever reason, he used Fate's Edict on the Sven. So you saw that moment where Sven turned and then he didn't do anything. There was wandering around. It's because he couldn't right click. He's like, "Whoa, what do I do, Funnick? Like, I don't have BKB, so I'm just left with this disarm on me when I could have been doing work against two heroes who are right next to each other."
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now Team Empire. They BT back in Aloha. There are buybacks on all of the heroes apart from the Chen, who are currently
Radiant's
dead, but
top tower has
everyone's going to be
fallen.
back up for RoX, and I wonder if
Radiant's
this
top
is the
tower
time
is
that
under
Empire
attack.
want to force an issue. You got God Strength coming off cooldown for Aloha, so when that Bat Rider is up, your potential to have, even without the Bat Rider, Aloha, he got him too dead! He got there just in the nick of time! Aloha, he's looking for as much damage as he can, but he can't do it. He's sent back outside the base. Does he survive with this? Yes, he does. But then again, Bat Rider is out. He's in the middle of 5 heroes from Team Empire, sent up and towards the air. The EMP will burn him out too. He's protected by his Ghost Scepter for the moment, but that moment is very, very short. Team Empire, RoX actually came out to find them, and, well, again, Funnick, huge plays from him.
Funnick caught the ult, but again, he used... I really don't agree with the base edicts. He could allow the Sven to right-click during that, and all the lifesteal he would get out of it would be valuable. Probably more valuable than the base edict heal that he's throwing on him, but...
Radiant's middle
There you
tower.
go,
Fight's working out.
There's still no lasso for another 22 seconds. Y'all, the amount of damage he's taking from the impetus of Vost. They actually throw the Fortune's Ember, he's able to get away from it. And now, well, BZZ, that Deafening Blast, pushing him back. Resolution's in the middle of this fight, underneath the BKB Gyro. The Aegis Immortal will now be expended, and they're wanting to initiate again. Aloha, though, that Yule Scepter from Bat Rider keeps out of the fight, but Resolution already disengaged with his blink back out of the Radiant base. I wonder if RoX can actually let him go with this. Your Firefly's still on cooldown, but you got a Blink Lance too, a Flame Break, you'll see a Vost leaving, and the Tornado will actually pick up the Gyrocopter. No Fear's Tombstone is trying to buy a little bit of space here for Team Empire.
No Fear's like, wait for me, guys! Don't let me go! But he's probably dead. Yeah, Resolution's like, no.
Just let him die.
We ain't saved him.
Let him die. Global back.
Yeah,
Global back.
That's the gem back in the hands of Tornado.RoX. That's the sad part of the Undying. It's actually not the Undying, it's the gem that's more important there.
Who have they got it on now? So it's over on the Chen. Wondering if that's the play, like if you give, they're giving it back to the Bat Rider.
All right, so this fight, they need to catch Resolution. If they're gonna try and push high ground, which it seems like they're not, it's probably the right play because pushing against an Invoker high ground is really tough to do, especially when he's got Ags. Even more so when he's got Octarine. If he's got Refractor, forget about it. Like, he's just like dumps Meteor, Ice Wall, Tornado. He just dumps it everywhere. Like, you can't go high ground against it. So you really need to find that critical pickoff. And ideally, I think it's Invoker priority #1.
It'll be a little bit more difficult now. Funnick's gonna be sitting all the way at the back with a Blink Dagger and a Force Staff.
Oh yeah, it's actually
guaranteed to get in the right position at the right time.
Yeah, you're right. There's no, as long as Funnick is playing it correctly, there's no possible way that Bat Rider pulls a hero back.
Yep.
And kills it.
And now Team Empire, like, what's your play? Like, Roshan's up in, or maybe in a minute and a half. They still won't know. You've lost your bottom rack, your top lane is exposed. All you've managed to do is expose the mid lane of RoX.
How does Vost still not have a Ghost Scepter?
It looks like he's actually going for a Monkey King Fire.
Yeah, he is.
Because he's up against the Butterfly of the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. You can right-click other people other than the Gyrocopter. I think that it's more important for him. Maybe I feel like the last couple of fights he hasn't been threatened by the Templar Assassin as much as he was earlier fights. But, you know, what's the point of getting guaranteed damage on the Gyro if Templar Assassin comes and 4-shots you?
Yeah.
You know, like maybe you get one guaranteed impetus shot on the Gyrocopter and then you dead.
Turns it into a glass cannon. Even now,
wait, what's going on? Bottom!
Aloha is a long way away from friends, but he had the BKB triggered. That was still a 10-second BKB that was expended by Aloha.
All of a sudden, I see this convergence of Radiant heroes, and I'm like, what are they doing there? And Aloha Dance is like 2 miles away from his team.
What was it? Like, if Funnick is playing it correctly, Batrider shouldn't get a target.
Yeah.
Aloha, he's gone AWOL.
Yeah, I guess maybe we should clarify. If people are playing correctly around Funnick...
Well, it's going to start the Fortune's End over on Batrider, but the Stormbolt chasing after BZZ. They managed to burn through Refraction Touch, but they're back up again. No fear, wonderful tombstone location, but then again, they are getting rid of that with a call out of the flag cannon. Seater is doing so much damage! Empire will lose too! Funnick is having to hide himself inside the pit, trying to give a little bit of a save. Aloha is still fighting out here, but they get the stun, the go step to Funnick. He just needs Blink, and he's able to do so. BZZ, his on cooldown for 1 more second. Now he can chase back up, and there's the Yule Scepter. Empire will lose 4 heroes. Roshan's still a long time away from spawn time, but RoX can just go for a Rax.
Oracle doesn't have buyback. That's going to be really important. Because they will have another Lasso. That's the thing. Lasso has a very short cooldown this late.
I can't believe Empire initiated when Aloha Dance didn't have his BKB charge up.
I don't know. That was weird.
He just jumped in and went for it.
They got super ahead of themselves. And now they're getting ahead of themselves right now. They could be caught off by the Batrider. We know it's not happening yet, but they could be caught off by the Batrider at any moment in time where they're trying to push that bottom lane.
Down. Now they've got better vision. And they see the target number 1. It's Resolution. There's your lasso. They're waiting for it. Aloha. Where's that Stormbolt with all the BKBs up? Just want to do it. Invoker instantly has to buy it back. Now the Stormbolt can go to work over on Seater. The primary target they want to swap back over. The Impetus damage is still going to fly in, but the send back from Chen able to save Gyrocopter. Chen even able to TP back out. What do you lose? A Vengeful Spirit. Nothing of value was lost.
It's the Butterfly. The Butterfly is destroying this team. I don't know. I feel like...
Sorry, Empire. You got a minute.
I don't agree with a lot of what Aloha Dance has done in an item build and such. But I was on board. Like, as soon as it got to a certain point in the game, I was like, okay, the magic damage is not mattering as much. Like, the disables, they're annoying, but... Like, you've tanked through the disables this long, you might as well keep tanking them, right? And I was like, MKB next item. What does he go? BKB next item. Like, as soon as I'm bored, I'm like, all right, Aloha Dance, this build is fine. Go MKB next. I'm with you, buddy. And he was like, nah, bro, I'm going back for the BKB now. I was just like, I don't understand. As soon as I get into the mindset of the player, he just like,
How do you understand? Look at the crops. This swing is unbelievable. How high it's just like this is more than a yo-yo right now. This is the bungeeing bullet.
And this is not a good area to fight around a Batrider, by the way.
I don't know why Aloha is actually like putting himself into the pit, putting himself into that area.
It's like they just had a fight here, and they were like, you know what's a good idea if we have a fight in this area again? Because that's what it is. If you're in this area up here, Batrider is going to initiate, drag you back, and even if it's interrupted, the fight's still going to go down in this area. And they just got creamed by the Gyrocopter last time.
They did.
They were so focused on the Resolution getting his double meteor combo on TA, which didn't actually kill her, by the way.
Here we go again.
Oh, God.
Smoke into smoke. Position. He's going to get Funnick. What does he? Yes, now he does. With the call down, with the flag cannon. Empire, say your prayers. You probably won't survive through this. Aloha's looking for a target to hit. He's just running around. Now he finally finds one. He finds 2. Maybe underestimating the damage here. The Batrider's going to drop as well. Are they really going to do this? BZZ will stand his ground. The Sunstrike there, but Aloha finally, when he can swing, he hits the ding. 3 heroes down for RoX. They buy back it up. So many. They actually lost their entire team, but bought back 3 heroes.
You know what that was, Toby? They did say their prayers. They said their prayers to the CIS Dota War Gods. And the War Gods answered, Toby. They hit the Gyrocopter. That's the thing. They successfully hit Impetus shots on the Gyrocopter despite Butterfly. They don't have MKB on her yet. It was just luck. They just hit those shots. That means Gyrocopter was taken out early, and the fight actually was fine. Because there's no way that fight should go well. But like Enchantress is on the front lines. Like, what the hell was Ramos doing? He's like, all right, smoke guys, I'll be first in. Like, that makes no sense. And then Funnick gets caught by the Batrider. And Funnick made it clutch though. Funnick did get off his ultimate just before he got lassoed. So props on him. He put it immediately onto Havos going, Havos, why are you up there? But, you know, Funnick did good, but good lord. And then and then Havos turns around and gets all these Impetus shots on the Gyrocopter. Like, no misses. I was watching it, I was just like, what? He's not missing. He's doing damage. My God, they've won.
Well, at least now he's got his Monkey King pass, so it'll be guaranteed next time around.
All right. So
It's Glass Cannon Havost. That's what this is right now.
Oh yeah.
The only thing he needs is a rapier to just buff everything else up.
This is a correct build. Toby, when I built Enchanters, I went like Moonshard Blink Dagger. You don't build HP. Like, at the best, you get a Hood of Defiance. That's the tankiest item you'll ever see an Enchantress pick up. Look how much damage. 436 pure damage.
Not too shabby at all. But
Just from one
Tito's
casual
got
shot.
damage to like life to spare, plus the Aegis to the Immortal. He's got 2.9k they have to get through. Havost needs to just get more than one hit. Tito's still going to be live stealing through these fights. So they're slowly using Seadoy's front row bait, go 6, blink forward. He'll find no Pierce, no Tombstone for this fight. The EMP Tornado, Seadoy is going to BKB and flat cannon it up. The Ghost Hit will protect initially. In fact, no Pierce again, saved up by Funix. Seadoy is really low. And what do they really claim here? Damage onto a ranged Rax?
No. That was much bigger. God Strength is down.
True.
That is a very big one.
Can they still initiate? Like, your Seadoy has been sent all the way back to base. I suppose he can just BT himself back in again. But the BKB isn't there, unless it was still 30 seconds away.
Yeah, I think they can, if they find the opening without Lasso, take it. But in the meantime, just kind of siege, wait it out. Because they're not going to initiate without God Strength.
I always feel like a Vorce is the opening. He was sitting on the stairwell like 5 seconds ago, while TA was looking for someone to pick. They just keep the slow. There's your swap. Up he goes. Vengeful Spirit. They wanted a Vorce, but again, Funix is there. The AoE Deafening Blast pushing back Seadoy into that Cold Snap as well as Fortune End. An Empire supporter throwing everything they possibly got towards that Gyrocopter.
Alright, Lasso's up, but God Strength is going to be up in 10 seconds.
A small window of opportunity. They've still got the Aegis and Cheese though, so RoX still have a big advantage in these fights. Now they even get a Solar Crest over on the Vengeful Spirit. Could be as useful with that Monkey King bar already being up. So where is it? The jump forward. Okay. Now I start to see where her Vorce can do a little bit more damage.
Yeah. If he can get some real attack speed, they ever ignore him in a fight. It's just like,
Nice EMP Tornado. DS can be caught by that. Unfortunately, the
quick pick.
yeah, the Tornado took too long, but they still find the kill. Seadoy's going to use his BKB. This is before his Aegis is even gone, so Empire will successfully defend.
Yeah, that was great. They used practically nothing in order to kill a hero and force a BKB. This is Empire successfully. I think that actually means that they held. I was just going to remark that Empire, it was very impressive the way that they positioned themselves for that mid-fight, and they successfully defended their racks. Like, not even allowing the range racks to take that much damage. That's pretty impressive. And now, I think they've actually got I think they've got a very small advantage, but I think they do have it. Because they just successfully defended and pushed Tornado.RoX back.
Yep.
They'll no longer have the Aegis for the next fight.
Yeah, it times out in just under a minute now.
They'll have cheese, though.
Yes.
Ghosted can pass that one over to Gyro.
At the same time, though, it's...
I don't think you push forward as Empire, but I do think you push out and farm a little bit.
You have to get control of your lanes back. Like, that bottom lane has to go out. Or else they're always going to be looking over their shoulder. While RoX was pushing in through mid, that bottom lane kept coming in. It took maybe 2 heroes to quickly mop up that bottom lane.
He is going to go MKB. I was going to lose my mind. If Aloha Dance went Satanic, completed Satanic rather than MKB, I was going to be like, I don't know what's going on in this game. Just ignore me, Toby. But yeah, he sells Helmet Dominator. It sucks because Satanic with Fortune's End is great, but obviously MKB is
He's gonna need his buyback before he buys Monkey King Pass.
Oh yeah.
Because when you don't have lifesteal, like, you're kind of like a one-hit pony, where you could just rip everything apart, but you could also get destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking back and just that they position themselves like really well.
He could always just sell his Blink Dagger as well and pick up. I don't know if he wants to go into something like a Heart. Be an option for him as well later on, but that Blink Dagger does so much work for him too. He'll probably get a Moonshot before he sells the Blink Dagger.
And if anybody wants a pre-10k net worth hero update, Undying is going to reach for the skies and go for an Aghanim Scepter. That will appear.
Wait, really?
That will appear in about 30 minutes, I'm sure.
He's like a 7.1k net worth.
Yeah, he's not a happy camper.
That's very optimistic.
Yeah.
If he gets it, though, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
if he doesn't, though.
Yeah.
Resolution charging forward. He's got to keep his way away, like path away from Chen.
All right. Oh! Aloha Dance accidentally popped BKB. I don't think it matters because he needed to farm up buyback anyway.
So that was his 7-second BKB.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's still charges. He got it so late. I forgot. Oh, okay, that does matter.
If it was Radiant side, sure, they're all down to 5 seconds a long time ago.
Yeah.
But he's the only BKB hero over on Team Empire.
Yeah, I just didn't expect anybody, an hour into this game to still have charges.
So, RoX Kiss, what do you want to do if you're in that position at the moment? You feel trapped inside your base. You kind of want to wait for Team Empire to come and attack you. Then at least you fight from the safety of your own base. Buyback-wise, they've got it on everyone apart from Chen and VS. So RoX Kiss will defend this push by Team Empire. Team Empire not going to push. So they just deny him. They keep getting control of the map.
Trying to think how much Roshan is going to matter here. Because I think Empire can do it faster than Tornado.RoX, plus their dire side, so they can sneak it in.
Aloha?
Oh!
Yeah. That's, okay.
Game sensed.
Man,
That's what that was.
You want to talk about balls of steel. You're 59 minutes in, and you go that far up when you have no vision of the enemy? Just to get a load of farm on the wave. Now they're going to smoke up Team Empire.
I mean, he may have just game sensed it so hard that they might win the game, right? Because that was a smoke that failed, and now Empire have the opportunity to smoke right before potentially Roshan spawns.
Are they going to find the Chen army? Or is Batrider terribly close? Aloha does spawn! They found the Chen. They'll get the kill. BZZ looking for the damage and spend. Not really going to catch it. In fact, they go for a better target. It's the Batrider control. The Ghost Scepter buying him time, but not enough of it. With the Deafening Blast, even pushing the Vengeful Spirit away. Team Empire not aware of this, however. He was sitting inside the Fog of War. The Batrider will have to expend his buyback. Chen does not have his. 70 seconds without the Chen. Here comes the Batrider already. He has to get in position ready to fight.
I don't think the Chen will matter as much. They can still hold without. They still have Lasso as well. Fortune's End is up.
That range RoX doesn't last long. The God's Strength is already gone. So Aloha doesn't have that big damage, but okay, Blink Lasso. They go for Aloha. Resolution instantly blinks the Hex. Vestido in the middle of the fight with a flag cannon, almost killing off Novium with the Impetus damage to Revorce on the back line. Sido has to expend the cheese now. He's still taking so much damage. They force staff him away. Empire does take a lot. The Skyblade attack from DZZ. It picks up the poor Undying. Well, that Aghanim said to get a little bit more delayed.
Like I said, 30 minutes, Joey, 30 minutes.
But Empire, they take a counter Rax. It levels up the Raxes now. Gyrocopter finishes up his 4 Satanic. Gyrocopter's becoming immortal.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this is also the time where he's staring down the barrel of getting something more like a rapier.
Oh yeah, I think that's
so
his
he
next
sells
item.
the SMY.
I think he sells SMY for Divine Rapier. I don't think you go for it yet because the game is still even. Divine Rapier is one of those items where it's like, where you're left in a situation where it's like all in and there's nothing left, like one last fight, or you're dramatically behind. I don't think either, we've reached that either conclusion yet, right? Tornado.RoX are still on relatively even ground with Empire. It can go, the game can swing either way, nor are we at a super late game point where it just comes down to one fight. I think there's still buybacks, heavy amount on both sides.
Empire's got every buyback available.
Yeah, and
the biggest
Tornado
problem
have
RoX is just the Batrider doesn't have his really.
Yeah, the important one is that Tornado have the Gyro and TA. So
Okay, so that gem has traded hands once again. The courier from Empire was just sitting there for a good minute. Resolution? Very aggressive, but there is no counter vision right now from RoX.
yeah, he knows it's very likely they
And
don't
now
have jab.
Resolution,
Oh
he
god!
just starts. Aloha's going to come in. The VS Swaps back out BZZ. So, well, the sacrifice from Vengeful Spirit will not be in vain. Even the Ghost is making him work very difficult. Like a long time to get the kill and resolution. BZZ takes him down. 2 minutes on the sideline. Revenge is there from Aloha dance. That Godspring still going to work. He wants another one. It's the Batrider. Euroscepter could buy him a little bit of space, but it's not going to be enough. He's still brought back down again. Aloha gets himself a double kill. The bottom lane is pushing in quite heavily for Team Empire. Against Team Empire, and in fact they are going to TP back Aloha dance. So this push ends here.
I almost feel like they need to go for... Because while I said the important buybacks are Gyro and TA,
yep.
Yes, it's true, but if you lose the 3 other heroes, and then you're only left with just buybacks on these 2, like how can you win a fight without any support?
We've got 22 seconds until they can have their Sven back. But with a great blink form, the BK beats up from Seater. He'll go for the cooldown, trying to beat into resolution, doing some significant damage, but now hexed up. You can't life steal while you're in that position, and Seater being pushed back again by the Deafening Blast. A Vorst was saved. Now the Satanic turns on. Seater, he's burning through a Vorst, and the Deathblade attack. A Vorst will drop. Nofi is also quite low, but there's Ben coming back. BZZ, be very careful. Aloha wants your life, and he's going to claim it as well. Jumping forward, the TA's down. Buyback is available for him. I mean, they need to defend this bottom lane of Rax. They raid a fight, though. There's no BKB, there's no Satanic for the Jari. You've lost your bottom lane. So the lane the time go. Aloha blinks forward. They're looking for the top. Now TA's back up, but Aloha underneath the tier 4 towers. The mid-tower won't be able to connect onto Sven. No Fear, again, this base being fought by resolution. No Fear doesn't really have that opening to just drop the tombstone and try and turn this on a fight. In fact, now it's Empire just trying to get away scot-free. Steedoy goes for the chase. The Rocket Barrage still doing damage to that Undying Resolution. Again, that BKB from Steedoy stopping the attack from happening, and they're looking for more. How long can Funix stick with the rest of his team? He doesn't have Fortune end for another 6 seconds. That will be long enough. Empire is able to blink themselves away to safety, and now they're 1 lane of Rax up. But Roshan is also available, and RoX going to try and quickly take this. There's no Enchantress at the moment, and the ping already came out from Resolution. He knows they're starting this. Doesn't have Refresher off. He does have Tornado EMP, so he's going to let the Tornado fly for now. Then the EMP to follow up. Seadoy can lose a little bit of mana from this.
They almost need to give BZZ the item. Yeah. They have to give BZZ the Aegis because he doesn't have buyback. I'm surprised he dropped Blink Taker though. I almost thought he was going to drop Treads.
That would make sense.
Yeah, like, obviously one of your mobility items is going to be sacrificed here. He chooses to keep his Treads, but... Oh man, another Scythe of Ice. There's just too many disables coming in now from Empire.
I'm worried that Seadoy, even if he did get something like a Rapier, is never going to be able to lifesteal. He's just going to get hexed and hexed and hexed. That's still a 5-second BKB on him. This is that moment. Like, this is when you do it anyway. So there it is, 7.1k. He still doesn't want to sacrifice his buyback. He's got the surplus. It needs to hit 2.4k, and right now it's only at 1.9. It looks like Empire is aware of this. They're just bringing everyone to the top lane. It's the last lane anyway. And Seadoy, do you do it? Do you do it?
I think you do. I mean, what's the point? If you have buyback but you don't have the Divine Rapier, what do you think the chances are that there's a scenario where you drop Divine Rapier, but you don't have buyback? Or you do have buyback? I don't know. I think that the Divine Rapier is way more important than buyback at this point.
By the looks of it, Empire's going to give him the space to basically get the last bit of farm. Now he's going to walk out to a shop, which is... Empire have really good vision of this. They put down the observer ward, so they can watch when that item gets picked up. Alright, this is it now. He's got the surplus available. An extra 600 gold up his sleeve. And say hello to the Rapier.
I'm sure I was wrong about the Divine Rapier thing. Probably more important to have buyback. At that point. I just felt like they were in such dire circumstances, you know. Now we've reached that point where you talk about it, right? Whereas you have one last fight in you. Lose that Divine Rapier, you probably lose the game.
There's so much to work with. You've still got the Aegis the Immortal over on BZZ. You've still got cheese available. A double damage rune is nice for his event.
Yeah, know.
But they still need an opening for it. And where are the observer wards? Where is all the vision for RoX? Do they have any available right now?
Both teams have gems.
Yeah.
So I think it's been hard for them to keep vision up. In fact, you're going to see like a dire side ward that they just placed. That's going to be taken out pretty soon.
So if you ever ask yourself, what do you need as an Oracle when you hit 68 minutes into a game? Seems funny because it's going to answer with Heaven's Halberd.
Oh yeah, this is a great pickup.
If BKB actually goes down on that gyrocopter, he can just disarm him. Potentially.
Or if you even like manage to dodge the meld strike that comes out from BCZ, if he tries to jump you specifically, the evasion, quite nice. Yeah, I think it's a very smart pickup. I mean, it's only all team fights are lasting more than 5 seconds, so you will have an opening where BKB is down. You could stop somebody from right-clicking.
How much money is that? Okay. At this point, I wonder if you should also be buying a Moonshot on this event. You'll have money for buyback even if he dies. Actually, I take it back. He's already got it, and he's still got 6.3k gold left over. Okay, they need to get something else on Aloha. Is this your time when you also consider going for a rapier? Or do you get something like a satanic may even be even more powerful?
Gyro's a divine hero. I don't think Sven is really divine hero. If you're maxed out, I don't know. This is pretty close to your maxed out build because you
maxed.
Yeah, you still want Blink Dagger. You still want BKB, so you don't want to sacrifice those items. The other items are just efficient damage items. You're not going to give those away.
Do you still want BKB though? You think about all the physical damage now coming out from RoX, it's your primary problem.
No, again, it's just about the disables. Like every single time, you notice Cito is actually putting missile on Aloha Dance.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, if they magic missile him, if they homing missile him, just sticky napalm is really annoying for any melee hero, but...
It's easy. It looks like there's a little bit of indecision between RoX, like who's between the front lines. Like, Cito's got the damage where he can easily clean up the racks, but doesn't want to be initiated on. And Aloha's in very close. That BKB, it hasn't gone off yet. There's your BS swap back out. BS taking a lot of damage. In fact, already dead for the count. Aloha, big deafening blast from Resolution. He caught them all with their pants down. Now the Rapier. Well, Aloha is a Rapier-style hero. He actually drops his AC item. They're moving over to BZZ. If they can find this kill, which they should be able to do so, that will be the game. 2 minutes without a Templar Assassin. You're already 2 racks is up. Just go for the victory now.
Tornado.RoX, they know there's no way out of this one. Unfortunately, there's no side lane that's like split pushing that they could go for like a quick throne race or something like that. There's just no possibility of winning.
Damage output, even without God Strength, is unbelievable on this event.
Yeah.
And that's with,
with
the negative effect of VS as well.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, this... Like, if Bad Rider can get a Blink Blast and drag him back into Fountain... Oh, no, he jumped on a Resolution instead. Oh, Ghosting. He went for it. The buyback will come in from the Gyrocopter, but he's got no real eyes left. GG is the call. Team Empire, well, their game in WePlay was a lot quicker against RoXKiss, but they will still, however, have the same result. They get a first game victory up against RoX. The difference here is it's a 2-game series, 3 points on the line. Team Empire scrambling to get to #1 position in the group stage because only the #1 team goes through from this group.
Yeah, RoX are one of those teams that I don't think they'll be top 3, but I do think that they will be helping to decide who the top 3 is. They can easily take a game, or maybe even 2, off of one of the top 3 teams.